know that your favourite breakfast cereal sitting in the cupboard at home may be under attack by some hungry moths or beetles? I hope they leave something for you to eat.
Most of your breakfast cereals are made using grains like oats, corn and wheat. Australian farmers produce around 40 million tonnes of wheat each year.
Wheat makes up just over half of this grain, which is exported to countries around the world.
Not only are we eating this healthy grain, lots of animals around Queensland, such as dairy cows and beef cows and pigs, are eating all this grain too.
Little grey insect pests are hiding in many places on farms, in storage silos and in big factory buildings where all of our food is made. These insects are looking for a chance to quietly sit and eat this grain, flour or breakfast cereal without you seeing them.
The Department of Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry have a team of scientists in Queensland who run lots of interesting experiments to see if they can learn new ways to stop these hungry little insects eating your food before you even open the packet.
In 4.5b, we can help by conducting our own experiments too.
We're examining the habits of the rust red flower beetle.
In particular, we are comparing the rust red beetle's breeding habits at various temperatures. In a cold setting, in a warm setting, and a cool setting. If our experiment can help identify the conditions whereby these little critters breed less, we can make suggestions about how to store grain better.
The materials we used included 3 containers, 30 beetles, wholemeal flour, a foam box, a block of ice, 3 thermometers and 1 marker.
First, we carefully place 2 tablespoons of flour into each container. Afterwards, we carefully place 10 bugs into the container.
And then we put the lid on the containers.
We each placed the container into the warm zone, which was 25 to 35 degrees, into the cold zone, less than 15 degrees, and into a cool zone, 20 to 25 degrees. We then left each container in its temperature zones for 3 weeks and waited. After 3 weeks, we then removed all the adult beetles and placed them in this jar. The containers were left for another 3 weeks to allow any eggs to hatch, larvae and pupa to grow, and adult beetles to appear.
Over the next 3 weeks, we recorded a tally mark for each of the beetles that were found and removed. The container with the most adult beetles would indicate the condition in which breeding is most favorable.
Our results showed that the cold temperature, which was less than 15 degrees, had very little activity and no adult beetles appeared. It also showed that the cool temperature zone between 20 and 25 degrees had just more activity when 61 adult beetles being removed. We observed that the warm zone container had beetles that were very active and 135 adult beetles were removed. Therefore, it appears that the warm zone conditions are the most favourable conditions for the breeding of the rust-red flower beetle.
If we were trying to reduce the damage being done by the rust-red flower beetle to stored grain, we should create containers and conditions that slow the breeding cycle of the rust-red flower beetle.
It's our suggestion that grain is kept in containers below 15 degrees Celsius.